So I'm starting on the removal of this cab piece right here. Started doing the first little spot weld thing, and the drill ran out of battery. Switching over to the other one. But yeah, I went with the little hole punch and made those little center bores, or little center things. Started the drill out process right there. But yeah. All right, so I got some lines marked right here. Got some crap up there so it doesn't flick into the thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this son of a bitch. So what I'm doing here now is I basically cut the piece off of the other chunk that I did. So this, that other big chunk I cut off the truck, I cut off the end right here, and then I cut off the end right here. And so basically what I'm doing is lining up the holes right here. You can see the exact same place where the pinch welds and everything align, and so I'm just lining it up right there, making sure it's pretty much the same exact. And I went ahead and I grinded all that stuff so it's nice and smooth, so it'll actually line up with it. So I'm just gonna kind of put that pretty close on there, and then I'm gonna move it over. Probably an eighth or quarter of an inch. But about an eighth of an inch. And so what that's going to give me is the width of the blade where I cut it, and also give me a little bit of wiggle room. I'll probably go over actually just a little bit more, but that'll give me pretty much the exact same line that I did on the truck. So this should get me really, really close over there. And I did the same up on the top over here. So I'm going to pull that down. There was this, where that bracket was right there on the inside. I went ahead and cut that all out because that was hanging off the back. So it wouldn't have been able to let me get the line that I wanted. So as you can see right here, the line was about right in there. That's exactly where the line was. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and move it up. It's about an eighth or so, maybe a little bit more, and it's gonna give me that same exact line that I want. So yeah, that's about where we want to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a kind of a rough cut on top of that, and then go put it up over there and kind of see how I feel about it, see how much I need to cut off, and go from there and just kind of slowly nib at it and just make sure it's perfect. So yeah, after a few little cuts, it's looking pretty good. The gap's, pretty nice. There's actually a little bit more gap right there than there should be, because I just had the tape hold it up when I was clamping this down here. But a few of the things line up just perfect. The little holes. But yeah, it goes up and it looks pretty nice. And like I said, that's a lot less than what that should be. But basically, sorry I didn't get no video of me cutting the slices, but you could see all the little slices I got over here, from each little end. I'm just kind of nibbing away at it a little bit. Kind of started off, fat, and then kind of skinnied it down. So, but yeah, needs to go up just a tad more, and maybe grind a little bit right there, lift up this front. But yeah, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it at for a little while. I'll come back tomorrow and grind it in, grind it a little bit, little by little, and kind of get it all ready to weld up. Back here's that seam. You can see it sits pretty much right in there. So I'm just going to grind all that out right there, and then I'll have these two little pieces just to weld together all the way down. Gotta trim a little bit more off of the bottom down there, but yeah, it looks real good. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. And basically once I get the metal all shaped and welded and grinded down, then I'll just put just a skin of body filler over it, and then block it and shit. You'll never even be able to tell. And then all this stuff, the welding stuff in there, I'll go ahead and weld those full, then grind them down just so that the molding slivers slides over them. And then down here on the bottom, I'm gonna do the same thing. Just weld all the little holes shut, put a little filler in them, just so you can't see that there's a weld or grind marks or scratch marks, and should be all good to go. But yeah, I definitely think this was the way to go, coming away out here, versus trying to do it like up in here or something where I didn't have as much room and I'd had to do a ton of body work right on that line. Whereas right here I got the shortest point, and then about right here I have the other shortest point. And but yeah, so the hinge and everything, there's a little bit of wiggle room in there. I'm gonna move that hinge around, so it should be fine getting the door to line perfect. But yeah, shit, I've never even went to school for this shit. Basically just watching stuff on YouTube. And a couple years ago I did a Honda Civic. I did the quarter panels on it and a little Civic hatchback. But yep. Shit, you can't even see me. Anyhow, so I went ahead and grinded all the, well, not grinded, I used this little guy right here, the little Scotch-Brite wheel on it, so it didn't take too much of the metal off, because this stuff's pretty thin anyhow, and the welder that we have here is pretty, it's a 220 welder, so it's got a lot of amperage, so it doesn't really turn down far enough to weld this stuff. And so you gotta be real delicate welding it. So I tried to leave as much metal there as I could. Grinded the paint so it's all bare metal all the way around. All these little spots right here, so I'll just squeeze those in with the pliers when I get there and kind of buzz around there. But yeah, it's pretty much a little bit of a gap right there. It tightens up a little bit here in the back, and then I'm just going to weld that seam all the way down. So, but yeah, shit, I got a lot of welding in front of me. I went ahead and put this so I don't get no sparks and crap in there, but yeah, it's looking good. Right now I'm just kind of tacking up a few of these little areas. So yeah, here's getting pretty close. Got all these seams pretty much done. I grinded them down a little bit with the flapper disc right there. Right, that main one that was easy to get to, and then it was the tip if it's all dicked. But yeah, it still need to finish grinding all these guys out, but got those welded pretty decent in there. All that stuff, it'll be underneath this trim anyhow. And then right here, I'll need to hammer this down a little bit. It kind of rose up a little bit, but grind all that crap down underneath, and then up the back. Did that one going down there. That was kind of a pain in the butt, just because there's all that seam sealer underneath. So as soon as it would get hot, it would pop, and it was a big pain in the ass. You got one nice little bead right there. Man, I wish I could have done that with the rest. Just go psst. But yeah, all this other shit, you just had to pretty much tack it, 100 times. But yeah, looks pretty good. It, thing lines up pretty good. So I think, the bottom of this door is pushed in a little bit. So I need to space that out just a tad. But everything else looks great. So. So I got most of this stuff ground down, all the welds and stuff. Just need a few other little spots. The battery on the little electric grinder went out while I was doing it. But as you can tell, this thing right here has this pretty big scratch in here. My brother, he didn't like that, and he wanted me to paint, this whole side, or basically the whole truck. And I told him, well, that was too much work, that we could probably buff it out. So I went ahead and did a little test thing. Tell the whole front of the truck, this whole little front section. I didn't, go super crazy on the fender, but it had some scratches. This right here, this part of the door, this one had some, pretty decent scratch, right there. But it didn't go, beneath the clear coat. So I was able to sand basically it all the way down below it, and then you polish it back out. Most of the time, how you could tell if you could get a scratch out is if you run your fingernail across it, and it doesn't catch, you'll usually be okay. Or a lot of times, how you could tell if it's in the clear coat is I spit on my finger a little bit and just kind of go like that, and it'll, when it's wet, a lot of the scratch will disappear, and you'll be able to see the color again underneath that. So yeah. That's pretty much what we're going to end up doing to the whole truck. That's going to take a shitload of time. I hit this with 1500. Did all this stuff with 2000. A little bit lighter scratch right here. But I'm assuming I'm going to have to do the 1500 on the whole back. Get it all, debadge it. I'll do a video on that as well, probably a separate one. And get this thing looking nice. I guess he went ahead and he ordered some wheels for it today. There's some, well, I guess maybe you'll see in the completed video, but got a radiator. He went ahead and he clicked on my Motion Auto TV thing on the save some coin at Advanced Auto Parts. This radiator was like $260 or something, and there's a coupon code right now. It was I think save $50 off orders over $175. Normally it's save $50 off of orders over $100. But yeah, so we knocked the price down, from like $260 right down to like $210. So, if you guys are ever, wanting to, get a deal on some auto parts, click on my Motion Auto TV link, and there's usually the most updated link with the thing in there. Got an intercooler. He's waiting on the condenser. I think that came in today. The intercooler, we're gonna replace that. That was a used one we bought up at Truck Fest. The headlights, he went ahead and baked them. So, just basically this housing right here. So I'm just going to mask off the inside of that diamond, and then we're going to go ahead and paint match the headlights to the color of the truck. Since we're going to be painting stuff, I need to prep the bumper, paint all that stuff. But yeah, back on to this over here. I'm going to go ahead and finish grinding, and then do a little bit of body filler on it and try to get it primed tonight, and let it sit for a day or two, let all the that stuff sink into the scratches and and then so we don't have no sand scratches in the final product. And then it should be ready to paint. Right now it's Thursday. It's Thursday morning. Might be able to paint it, Friday or Saturday. So should be good to go by probably next Wednesday. Should be completed project, I hope, with the wheels and tires and everything, getting put together and buffed. And so I'm excited to get this damn thing out of here. I've been working on it all week here and there, along with a few other little things, but yeah. There's a few little, little holes right there, little pins in the thing. So I ahead and tacked those up. Got to grind those down a little bit more. Tacked a few little things in the back. And after that, it should be ready to spread some filler on there. So I got the few little areas, a little body filler on them. Nothing too crazy, it was just pretty much a skin of it to go over it, because there wasn't much, but I gotta let that dry, and then I'm gonna hit it with 80 grit. As you can see, I got it all scuffed, but when I initially sanded it to scuff it, it almost looked like I didn't even need any damn body filler. But yeah, so it So I got the first little layer sanded, and then I went ahead and put another little coat. This is slightly different body filler. It's a little bit creamier. It's more of a kind of a finisher, coat. So I kind of did that. Kind of filled in a few of these little things, just so that they'd be smoother. And yeah, I'm gonna get some seam sealer to go down the backside, those little welds and stuff down there. So I'll just seam seal those all up, all the way down. Same thing with the bottom, and then get some high build primer on this stuff, and let the primer sit for a while, then sand it, and then just paint the son of it.
Fuck, I don't know if I was recording or not.
So I got everything ready to spray. Got the little truck masked off, everything, kind of in here masked off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some color on it. So I got I went ahead and put two coats of clear on it, and I got the masking and everything taken off, but yeah, it looks pretty good, minus a few little dirt specks in it, so I'm pretty happy. But yeah, I shouldn't really be able to tell the difference in it once they're actually, nice and clean. Well, they're both nice and clean, at least polished and stuff. But, yep.